Here I am at Fishwick Lakes, a local lake to where I live, and I thought it'd be a nice place to start off the video. This video is going to be about a trip that I'm taking, not next week. I've got a week at work, but the following Saturday, so I'm here today to pick up some bait and get myself ready for that. The trip's my annual trip down to Wooda Lakes in Devon by Holsworthy, which is on the borders with Cornwall. There are 5 lakes down there. The carp lake itself doesn't hold massive carp, they go up to about £20, but there's plenty of them. The owner Stuart's been doing some work down there, so the idea of the video is that we'll try and find out a bit about Wooda Lakes, find out what's past. Stuart's owned it for just over a year now, so the work he's already done and the work that he's planning to do, and hopefully catch a few carp, which we may hopefully get on video, which would be nice. So the next time I see you will be Saturday the 16th of September, it's the 9th today, and I'll catch up with you either on the way down to Devon or when I finally arrive at Wooda Lakes. So bye for now. I think you can see that, Hawkins ice cream, best ice cream in the world. So I'm going to get myself an ice cream now, and I'll see you again when we get to Wooda Lakes very shortly. Right, as you can see, in front of you have one very happy bunny. I've had my Hawkins ice cream, which was thoroughly enjoyable. It really is the best ice cream in the world. We've had a gentle tootle down the lanes, which has taken about half an hour from Bideford, and we've now arrived, as you can see, at Wooda Lakes. The entry to the lakes is just behind me. I'll turn this round so we can show you. There's the entry to the lakes. As it goes up, we can probably walk along. Always nice to arrive at a venue, especially if it's somewhere as comfortable as this one and you're staying there for a week. So up in front of you, you see the first of the cabins. We'll see if we can zoom in a little bit on those. So you can see the cabins up there, and then they go across. There's a lake down to my left. There's all the various cabins. There's about 12 of them in total, and they're very comfortable cabins. We've got on the left just here the laundry room, which has got all the things that you need, and he's going to put a little tackle shop up at some point here, so he'll be able to sell bits of tackle and bait and what have you. I'm not quite sure of how long he'll be before he starts that, but I'm sure Stuart will tell us as we go through the week. So the plan now is that I'm up to the cabin. Turn this round again. The plan now is going up to the cabin and get settled in. Put my tackle into the shed, which is a fully locked shed, which is very handy here for all of your wet tackle. I was going to go around the lakes and show you the lakes today, but the weather's a little bit iffy, so we may leave that until a little bit later in the week. But I will get to show you all of the lakes, not just the carp lake. I'm going to get changed, and then I'm going to go down to the carp lake and I'm going to put some bait in. I've got 2 lots of bait with me this week. I've got Nature's Bait Alpha, which I've used here before in 14mm boilies, and they enjoyed those last year when I was here. I've also got the Maple Mega Nut from Asylum Baits, which I haven't used here before. They're in 16mm, and I'm hoping they might tempt out something a little bit bigger. We'll start off fishing pretty straightforward, bottom baits, very simple rigs. There's no need to do anything too fancy, I don't think, and we'll see how that goes, and then as we go through the week we'll explain anything else that's happening. Right, so I'm going to go now, get everything tucked into the cabin, and tootle off down to the lake. So see you in a while. Right, before we go anywhere else, I thought I'd show you the cabins, the log cabins. Show you inside. Here we go, walking through the door. We have television, fire, couple of nice settees. And that's the living room, which I'll show you from a bit more space in a little while. They've got the kitchen, which is fully equipped. So we've got a nice fridge freezer. The top one is now full of boilies. It's a nice fully equipped kitchen, and they send a little welcome pack for you as well, with milk and milk, tea, a bit of sugar, that type of thing, coffee, a few biscuits. Then into the back, and we move through, and we come to the bedrooms. First one of which is a double bedroom, so nice and comfy. And then we have a twin room. And finally, as we move through, toilet, bath, with a shower and the wash basin, all very nice. So we go back through to the living room. I'll show you the living room a little bit better now from in here. As you can see, good space there. Nice and comfortable for watching the television. More than anybody could need for one person. Probably fit 6 people into here. And then outside we've got a nice wooden patio area, which has got tables and chairs. And the cabin that I'm in, which is cabin number 2, looks out over to the residence lake, which is at the front of those cabins down there. And there's a little road, and that leads down to the other lakes, which we'll see a little bit later in the week. Okay, bye for now. Right, here we are. We've still Saturday night. I've just had a cup of tea, which was really nice. I needed that after that long journey. Thanks to the motorway being stuffed up by just about everything you can think of on the way down. This is the carp lake. I've come down, as I like to put a few baits in tonight. The baits that I want to be using are a little bit different than I've probably seen too much in this lake. So we'll put a few baits in and scatter them around, a bit scattergun. It's not a very big lake, it's only about 1.5 acres. As you can see, some nice couple of islands in it, and ducks. They're always fun if you're fishing floaters. Down this bottom end here, which is remarkably unattended at the moment, I think this is the end where the bigger fish are. I didn't give it too much time last year, but my biggest fish came out of this end. At the top end, up there where those guys are fishing, that's where I think is probably about the most productive place. But the fish tend to be, the average size tends to be a little bit smaller. That up there last year they were averaging out sort of 9-10 pounds, and the slightly bigger fish were down at this end. So this end was where the mid doubles were. There are fish in here up to 20 pound. I know that because I've netted it in the winter. Stuart's taken out about 100 fish, which is put in the lake, which is over to my left. There's another lake just over there, which you'll see a bit later in the week, which is more of a match carp lake. This lake is for the bigger lake, for the bigger carp, if you can call them that. They're not massive at all, but it's just great fun catching some fish. So we've had a look around. I'm going to have a bit of a wander, see if these guys up there may have a chat or may not, and I'll see you in a bit.
You'd have needed it for that little one earlier on.
Well, down here there's 2 guys I've just seen who are fishing, and they've been fishing today on a day ticket down here. Yeah, we've had a few fish. So what have you had today then?
We've had I've had about 4 carp. Well, what do you reckon the biggest one? 10? You've had 11, didn't you?
11 pounder I've had, yeah.
I had a funny little fish you caught out of it, but it was like blue on top, and halfway down the other half was like whitish. I don't know what it was. No idea what it was.
What's he been putting in here?
Yeah.
We'll have to try and catch that during the week if I'm down.
What would you say, 3, maybe 4 years ago we was pulling out 14s, 15s.
Yeah.
We're talking to the people on the lakes who be fishing there, and they're saying like, you know, there's 17s, and we've heard there's a 21 in there. So yeah, the poundage is going up. I think this will be I think he's got his hands full in a few years. I think there'll be a lot of people.
I think you're probably right. But when I came down here last year on the Saturday, there was one guy fishing it, and then there was a couple of Liverpudlians who were fishing it as residents, the same as me, and that was about it. Now come down on Saturday now, and there's you two guys. We've got another guy just over there. We've got two guys over there. And another chap over there. I don't know how many residents, might be on day tickets. But if people are coming down at weekends on the day tickets, then that's got to show that the lake's fishing better and that the Stamper fish is better.
He's been coming down to Bude on a family thing, and then it turned into a fishing thing with his mates for a few years. And we always meet up here in Wooda.
Yeah.
And so we know a little bit about this lake. This is it's my 5th or 6th year. Yeah. He's done about 10. And yeah, I think the poundage is going. And I just said to him on this trip, I said, in a couple of years, I said there'll be people coming all over it because it's not a big pond. I think there's quite a few fish in there, and on a good day, you can get some poundage of fish out of it.
Well, he took 100 fish out. I mean, I'm going to speak to Stuart later on in the week anyway. But he took 100 fish out, as far as I know, and there are still about 200 or so fish left in here, in an acre and a half. So it's a good head of fish in here.
There is.
But at least it gives them a bit of space to grow.
Yes, that's right. They might start growing a bit quicker now.
And I know there was one, at least if it wasn't 20, it was very close to 20 when they netted it.
21.
So it's 21 now.
Yeah.
Guy caught it last May over there.
And like I said, we've been getting 14s, 13s, 15s 3-4 years ago. So we're thinking there must be a good few coming up to the 20 mark.
Yeah.
The biggest we've had on this trip is a 1510. Was it 1510?
1510, yeah.
Well, there weren't in the week that I was here last time. There weren't many fish came out to that stamp. So it's what I thought. Once you take out the smaller fish, then invariably what happens is gives the other fish chance to at least put a bit of weight on.
But what I will say about this week, unfortunately for us, we've come down at a very wet. It's pee down near enough every day.
Yep.
And that will drop the temperature of the water, which isn't good, obviously, for carp. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, we come down there, don't we, every year. We try and pick different places, but we always try and make sure we come to where, because we think it's a cracking little lake, and it's just getting better and better. But unfortunately, when fishermen hear that, they'll come from all over. You know what I mean? And, you know, good for the owner.
They won't hear it from me. I'll edit all that out of the video before it goes online, and I'll make sure when Stuart puts it on his website that he takes all that bit out about the fish getting better.
They ask us, where do you fish when you go down to Cornwall? Oh, Angler's Paradise. Yeah, brilliant.
You know, I think them guys.
We don't mention Wooda.
No.
We should say we've got a couple of other places that we go to. But as I say, we've been down for the week, and this is our 4th day we've been here.
Yeah.
But that's what happens though when you get little, or even bigger places what fish well. You know, fishermen want to know it.
Yeah.
And you know, and people, they come and investigate. Well, when we hear things, we normally, if it's not too far, go and see what it's like. But yeah, we thought this was a cracking little lake 5 years ago. So we're always going to meet here. You know, and we're normally last day we come back here as well. So yeah, there's a lot of 10s and 11s, but I'll give you some fight.
Oh yeah, they fight really well here.
They do, yeah. Some good looking fish in here as well, but also you get some, as per usual.
It's the odd one.
You get some that are a bit.
Well, there's always going to be somebody down here that's fishing with normal float tackle or something, because they haven't been seen. And with the best will in the world, they're never going to get the fish under control.
No.
Even if they land it, the fish is going to be in control for most of the time. And that's when you start damaging mouths and things like that.
Yeah, I've
just been careless.
I've had a few that have been a bit, I can see a bit damaged, but I think you're going to get that anywhere because there's different calibre of people fishing wrongly, and you know, sometimes there's kids with their parents and they're not very good, or just manhandling them. You know, I was a little bit like that when I was a kid.
Well, I think you're right, but I think it's the malaise of the of day ticket waters, isn't it? That's what day ticket waters do.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I got to keep remembering, this is someone's business. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the last owner here, he was telling us that he had a bit of a problem of when he got round to sorting out his fish. He was saying that like his big uns were going. That meant somebody was taking them out.
Yeah.
And that's going to mess it up for the Joe public, and it's going to mess his business up.
Of course it is.
So a lot of these little places here now, you know, I think they don't want the night fish, not because they don't want the money. They're trying to protect their business. Because, like I said, if this gets a good, people start coming down here whipping the fish out, all of a sudden, you know, he's not going to get the business. People are not going to come in; they're going to go elsewhere. because with me, I've been fishing since I was a kid, and I think that it's word of mouth. Fishermen listen and they go and find out for themselves. So they go and spend a day or two or a few weeks going back to the same place to see, and that's what we've done with here. We was pretty impressed 5 years ago. I was, and I said, "Good, nice little lake this," and we've been meeting here ever since. And it just keeps. Yes, I must admit, it gets better.
And you got a good larder with you down there, so you got a bit
got
just
sorts,
about of everything.
All sorts.
Yeah, there's me come down with 2 different boilies. And that's it. And the
No, as you can see,
10 different open bags of bait.
I've got loads of different size pellets, loads of different boilies, all sorts of thing going on. He's right. I do go a little bit nuts with the bait, but I always think if you've got a choice, you know, some even cracking little ponds like this, they can have their quirky days.
Of course,
I've got one where I live that's really prolific, but you can blank in it.
Yeah. We can blank anywhere.
Yes.
I blanked here last year.
Yeah, well, it nearly happened to me, didn't it, the other day? But again, like I said, we've had a lot of rain, and it'll cool. I mean, we had hailstones around here the other day.
Well, we almost got what we wanted then. We almost got a tank on camera.
Something go. You were knocking them out. He comes with the camera, and you stop knocking them out.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? This is a sad time for me now because we're at the end of our week. This is our last day fishing. I ate it.
Yeah,
and he's beginning to pack up, so I know.
You know you're coming to the end of it.
Oh, mate. Like I said, although the weather's been kind, a change from the normal grind and work is good enough for me. I said to him, I don't care if it pees down every day. I said, I'm having it. I'm getting away from my normal crap. But yeah, I shouldn't have said that because it has rained every day.
Those make a big difference though, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, best 167 quid I ever spent on one of them.
Yeah, they are. It keeps you dry, keeps all your gear.
Yeah, to hell with the fish. Comfy chair and keep yourself dry. That's the main thing. Comfort. It's all about comfort. Right, I'm going to switch this thing off then, lads. All right. Thanks ever so much for your time.
Are you from Brummie?
Yeah, I'm a Brummie.
Yeah. I'm.
Right, well, if I look a bit hot and bothered, it's because I am. I've just finally broke my duck. It's now around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. After a day of very frustrating tugs and pulls and nothing else materialising into a proper bite. Finally got one. It tore off like a rocket. It completely demented. It went all around the place. Managed to tangle itself against my second rod through the line and tangled all that up. Jumped out, thought it was a tarpon and jumped out the landing net twice. Finally managed to get it on the bank and it was all at 9.5 pounds, common. Lively as they come. Pretty little thing, completely unmarked. I haven't taken a picture of it because it was, to be honest with you, I was in a bit of a tangle at the time. So every fisherman's nightmare, we all have them. Absolutely everywhere. I've had to break some line and discard some line on my other rod, so I've got to re-rig that now. Get back in. I've got one rod back in. I'll get the other one back in and see if we can get a few more. Right, as you can see, I've now taken the rods out. Ended up with 3 fish and lost one right at the end. So that rig will be changed tomorrow before I start. Just putting everything up there ready to dry out, so I'm going to have a wander around now to the match carp lake, as they call it, because this is not just about carp fishing this week. So I'll take you and show you the other lake that's just next to this one. I've just had a good chuckle. I've just been talking to the happy campers, as I've decided to call them. A couple of guys who have been coming down here for a fishing week, a getaway week for about 10 years now. The one's shy of the camera, so we haven't managed to talk to them both together yet. But I'll get them before the week's out. But they are good, funny guys from down south. Yep, I'm going to pack up now and go back up, have a shower, have something to eat, and maybe a glass of beer, and ease myself down for the night. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye guys. It's now afternoon on Monday, the 18th of September. Not a bad morning so far. I had a couple out this morning. Tony next to me has had 5 out. I've just been up and had a little bit of dinner. And the weather's turned. It's was bright sunshine this morning. The pressure's now moving from low into high, and the winds move from northerly to westerly, which over the next couple of days could be good news, but today I think it's tended to put them off just a little bit. So we'll keep going. Hopefully we'll get some videos, some fish a bit later on today. Alright, and I'll see you later on.
Something I gotta do. It might mean nothing, but I'm singing it just for you. We've never been tender, but you are my best friend. I love you forever. Any hurt you feel I'm in. You took my life in a different direction. Made me what I am today. It took a long life soul and turned it right around. You are my reason for waking up each day. Trouble came, you took the darkness in your hand. You said, just keep playing, get back to the band. Should have done it sooner, but it wouldn't have been the same. So I keep on saying I love you, and hope it don't sound lame. Turn my life in a different direction. Made me what I am today. Took a long life soul and turned me right around. You are my reason for waking up each day. My life in a different direction. You made me what I am today. You took a long life soul and turned it right around. You are my reason. When we spend a whole lifetime, I know this will be true. You'll be my friend, and I'll be playing just for you. This is love song, and I'm no one else to blame. I know it means something, so I sing it just the same.
Nice comment. Third one today. Third one this morning. Take a fish now. Is it all kicked up as well, is it? Excellent. Great stuff. Morning campers, it's now 9:30 on Tuesday morning, sun shining lovely and bright again. I'm back out on the lake. I've been down here for about, well, I've been down for about an hour. Mark, I think, who's fishing next to me from the East Midlands, he's been down here for probably about an hour and a half, and whilst I've had nothing, he's just landed his 5th fish of the morning, which is pretty good going by anybody's standards. I'll pick the camera up now and just show you what I'm doing. Right then, I've been listening to other people and they're catching on pop-ups, so what we've done today on my right hand rod, there's a pop-up, an ice white pop-up from Nature's Baits. On my left hand rod I've got a wafter, which the left hand rod is more of a wandering rod. If I see any signs or movements of fish, then we'll cast out to it and see what we can get. The right hand rod at the moment is just up off the point of that island, and my left hand rod is down in the bay, fairly close in. There's Mark catching all the fish, but he comes here about 3 or 4 times a year, so he knows the water very, very well. And I'm not doing so well this week, getting lots and lots of touches, certainly attracting the fish, but don't seem to be able to get them to take that well. And that seems to be the story around the lake, apart from 1 or 2 spots, and the spots are moving. People are getting 7 fish out, 8 fish out a day, but those spots are not necessarily the same spots as they were the day before, so the fish are obviously moving around. There's plenty of fish in here, we've got them about. All we've got to do is knuckle down to it now and catch a few. Right, we're off again. Mark's into what he says is down number 7. I know he's number 8, but like most East Midlanders, they always con you and try to make out they're catching a lot less than they actually are. I've just managed to get 1 out, but just a little one. So he's on his metal now, he's making sure he don't lose this, just in case I don't edit it out. Well, we've certainly got to thank Mark anyway for helping out on this video, because he's the only one that seemed to get any footage of actually fishing going on. Saying to Mark earlier, the fish in here might not be monsters by any stretch of the imagination, but they're certainly feisty. Well done, Mark. Another one in the bag.
That's another one.
Nice pretty little come.
About 6 in it.
Yeah. Pretty little fish. Cheers, mate.
Okay, you're welcome.
Right, good morning everybody. It's now Wednesday the 20th of September I believe, and we're halfway through the holiday, so I thought I'd just do a quick catch up and let you know what's been happening. The weather has been lovely up to now. We started off with some low pressure with southerly winds, and those turned on Monday. The winds turned and became a lot more westerly and southwesterly as high pressure moved in over the low pressure, which probably explains why Monday afternoon went completely dead with regard to the fishing. So far I had, on the first day, on the Sunday, I had 3 and lost 1, with the biggest went to around 11 pounds. On Monday I had 2 in the morning, one straight after the other, which I thought this sets us up for a good day. And then of course as the pressure started to change and the wind started to change direction, it went dead in the afternoon. Yesterday, which was Tuesday, I only fished the morning because I needed to go shopping because I'd run out of beer. Most important, got to keep the stocks of beer up in the chalet. So I had 4 fish, 2 quite early on, and then I thought I'd click the video on, and I am really so disappointed here. The battery had run out. Amateur mistake, I know, and it's not one that I shall make again. But as I was playing the first fish, which I thought was on video, the second rod went off. So I took the first rod underneath my left arm, struck into the second fish, felt that was on, put the rod down, played the first fish in, got it into the net, and the benefits of having 2 nets came in here because I then picked the other rod up and lo and behold the second fish was on. Played that, got that into the other net, and then weighed them. They were both doubles, one was 10.5, one was 11.5, so 10.5 was a beautiful common, and the 11.5 was a nice mirror, and none of it on film of course, and we all dream of getting a run live on film, don't we? And I missed it because the battery had run out, so not a happy chappy with myself. All in all though, great week so far. We're now halfway through. Today is going to be a sightseeing day. I'm going down to Bude and then down to Bideford. I'll get some shots while I'm down there for you so you can have a look round. A little bit more Hawkins ice cream in Bideford for sure, and Cornish pasties in Bude. I'll show you the shop. Then tomorrow I've got some personal stuff that I've got to take care of. So Friday, which as it happens is going to be a slightly nicer day again. Tomorrow apparently is going to be a bit horrible. Friday, which is going to be a nicer day again, we'll get some more fishing done and hopefully a few more fish on the bank, and possibly this time actually make sure I've got my battery charged before I set out. So see you all again a bit later. Let's show you the view of Wooda Lakes from my cabin. There's the top row of cabins. As we come down, there's the bottom row of cabins down there. Then down the bottom, you may just about be able to see, that's the residence lake for fishing. There's all sorts in there, but we'll show you around the lakes a little bit later on. We'll get some footage of all the lakes so you'll be able to see them all. And then that's where we came in from down there with the laundry room, and then over the back is going to be the new shop that he's building, which should be up for next year, hopefully up and running. So back again, beautiful North Devon countryside, or maybe that's Cornwall over there because we're right on the borders here. Et voila. Right, we're down at the lakes. I want to show you a couple of the other lakes now that we've got here, and so you'll get to see all of the lakes. This is the bottom lake, and I'll show you where it is. There are the cabins up there, so I'll show you in relation to where the cabins are. As we come down, nice easy little slope down, and then nice fishing pegs there, all cut out and boarded up there, ready for the locals. This one is for residents only, and there's a mixture in here of carp, roach, some tench. There's some chub in here, I believe. There's I understand that there was a 15-pound carp taken out of here a few weeks ago, or sometime this year, but I don't quite know the validity of that. But there are, I mean, mainly smaller fish in here, but good little coarse fishing lake. So this is closed off for the residents, and it's lovely and handy for the kids that can come down with the parents and have a couple of hours fishing down there, and then pop straight back up to the chalets again. So that's the top lake. Right, we'll take you down now to the second lake down. Right, here we are. This is the path down, the road down, where you can drive down to past the lakes. And there's several parking spots on the way down. As you see, the road goes up and then up and around the chalets. So if you've got a lot of gear with you, you don't have to walk too far and carry it all with you. You can drive down to the various places. The car park is at the bottom for the carp lake. Sorry about the sun here at the minute. Here's the second lake, which was originally, up until very recently, a stock lake, and he's put a lot of crucian carp into it this year. Only small at the moment, 3-4 inch crucian carp, that sort of size, but he's put quite a few in. As you can see, once again, nicely laid out, nice easy fishing, all nice and smooth around the edges. Little island as a feature in the middle. There's some reeds over there. Once again, great fishing for the match angler and for the general pleasure fisherman who just wants to put a float in the water and catch a few fish, and in this case, hopefully in a few years' time, catch 1 or 2 rather nice crucian carp. It's nice to have a water with a few crucians in it, because they seem to be coming fewer and fewer nowadays. So this will hopefully be predominantly a little crucian carp lake in the future as these crucians grow. We'll carry on to the next one now. Right, next to that little crucian lake is probably my favourite, the prettiest of the lakes here, I think. Well, I hesitate really. I suppose I shouldn't call them lakes, as they're more pools than lakes. They're not very big, but they're certainly big enough for all the people that come down here to get some sport out of them. We're coming up to the side. I'm told there are some carp living in those reeds there. A couple quite nice that have never been taken out of here into the carp lake. But pretty mixed lake, tench, some carp. I believe he's put some hide in somewhere this year, and they may be in here. We'll talk to Stuart a bit later in the week about what's in the lakes. So, nice lily pads there. That's really tenchy, that is, isn't it, down there? Once again, great fishing just for you're going to come onto any one of these pools, and whatever sort of fishing you do, you're going to drop a line in here and have a very realistic chance of catching some fish. And how can it be wrong when you've got all the trees and the woodland all around you, and all of nature everywhere, keeping you nice and cheerful and peaceful during the day? I'll probably try a shot from the other side of the lake on this, if we can get the sun a little bit more behind us. Yeah, just walking up to the back of this of the third lake down. As you can see, keeps the grass nicely cut, so it's very pleasant from whichever part of the lake you're fishing. And if you want a holiday with a bit of fishing involved, you can't really go wrong somewhere like this. We're at the back now, so through the lily pads over there. There's normally people, I don't know if you heard that on there, but just over there then there was a nice big splash. There's normally people fishing on these lakes, on these pools. The top one tends to be fished just for very short sessions. People pop down for a couple of hours fishing. From here on down they tend to fish pretty much all day. And but it's around about 5 o'clock in the afternoon now on Thursday. So I would have thought that most people who have been fishing have done their bit of pleasure fishing and stopped for the day by now. So there we go. And that one's just jumped again. Oh no, that one was the other side of the lilies, that side. Just there. So they're jumping about, but they're not doing it on camera for me. Okay, let's pop down now. Those are the three that you haven't seen up to yet, but we'll pop down now and have a look from the other side of the match carp lake. So you can keep your bearings as I come down the lakes. Back up there, there's the roadway going back up to the chalets, which you may be able to see in the distance. Here's the match carp lake, which is the fourth lake down. And then down the bottom there is the car park at the end, which is where you can park up if you're fishing on either of these two bottom lakes. So we'll go around the back of the match carp lake. I don't think there's anybody fishing on here, so all of those cars must be people on the carp lake. All down for the witching hour. The last couple of hours of daylight. So again, this lake's like a big oval really, with the island in the middle, and it's got carp in here well past double figures, although predominantly I would think they're in the 4, 5, 6, 7 pound mark. Nice westerly breeze today. I'll be back out on the carp lake tomorrow, so we hope this little westerly breeze stays where it is, and hope that the rain stays off, seeing as it's my last day tomorrow of fishing. So it'd be nice not to go back with all the tackle soaking wet. I'll have to dry it out at some point as soon as it stops raining back in Birmingham. So here we come. This is once again mowed, kept nice walkway around the back of the lake. All the fishing spots all made up, all nice and comfy. Lovely for a bit of very easy fishing really. It's a nice comfortable fishing. It's not you don't have to face the wilderness here to do the fishing, and that's good. It's good when you're my age anyway. Over by the lake over there we've got a lily pad. More lily pad there, and more reeds across that side of the island, and then round in what is, as I say, almost like an off-centered donut, if you like, sort of an oblong shape with an island stuck just off centre. There you go. So those are the lakes you haven't seen that much of up to now. I thought I'd show you those, because it's not just about carp fishing when you come down to somewhere like this. I mean, you've got to think people are just like to dangle your rod and catch a few fish, and it's just a nice place to do it. A nice and comfortable place to do it. It is, after all, a holiday place. You come down on holiday here, it's not, you wouldn't say that this is not one of your main carp places. I mean, really serious carp fishermen are not going to come down to somewhere like this unless they just want to unwind like I do. And that's all I come down here for, is to unwind and catch a few fish. It's a holiday, and it's a holiday as much as it is carp fishing. If you wanted to carp fish for a week, and very seriously carp fish for a week, then it probably isn't the place you'd come. You'd go somewhere that got a more prolific head of larger carp, or somewhere we got a chance of putting a real lump into the sack. But this one is more about it's more about catching doubles, and as many doubles as you can during the week. It's not a big carp water at all, and as I say, it's very typical for me of what I class as being a holiday camp water. It's not a holiday camp by any stretch of the imagination, but it's very much a holiday place. Right, I'll leave you with those pictures now, and I'll see you later. Right, back down the Carp Lake. Just having a wander up. At the beginning of the week I was calling these two guys the happy campers, but I've decided now definitely that they are the casserole kids. How's it going, Colin?
Terrible.
Now you're on film now.
Yeah, well.
How's the week been?
Not too bad, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, it's what it is, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I mean, it's not been as good as previous years, but it's been all right.
Yeah.
It's been all right.
I've noticed that I haven't caught many fish this year as I caught last year, but generally in here they've been a slightly better average.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I'm trying to say on this, and as I've been walking around the lakes and talking to myself while I've been videoing, and saying this is not for purist carp anglers.
Oh no.
To come down here, and if it's the purist carp angler, this is not the week for them. Yeah. Go to France.
Definitely not.
Or something like that. Yeah. But this is for if you just want a nice holiday with a bit of fishing.
Yeah. It's nice, quiet,
yeah,
peaceful, and say, catch anything, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
What more can you want?
Yeah, nothing at all. I suppose I ought to explain why I called you the casserole kids as I was coming down here. That, there's Colin and his mate. What's your
Alan?
Alan, yeah, who's fishing a bit further down. They told me earlier on in the week, probably in complete confidence, that they come down with a slow cooker. So every night they have a casserole. The casserole goes on before they come out in the morning. Yeah. So 7 nights casseroles on the trot. And I won't look at another casserole now for another 12 months until they come back down to Wooda.
Yeah, enough. It's a nice up meal when we get back.
That's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah. A couple of beers, put your feet up. What more do you want?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's my motto too. I've tried to keep the cooking simple this week. Otherwise it starts to get into the beer time then, doesn't it?
It does.
Keep the cooking simple.
Yeah, don't want too much aggro.
Right, I'll leave you in peace, mate.
Okay, boss.
Well, here we were, just walking away, and Bob's rod went off. Sorry, not Bob, Colin's rod went off. I don't know why I keep calling people Bob. I think I've been calling everybody Bob this week, and they've been looking at me a bit strange.
Yeah, we haven't even got a Bob.
Well, there's probably not a Bob here now. I said on this earlier, they might not be big fish, but they're all feisty.
They do fight.
They do. Tug you around a bit. He knows the camera's down here, that's why he's trying to get down here for. There we go. Another Wooda carp hits the net. Well, I'll do the introductions. I'm here with Stuart, who's the owner of Wooda Lakes. We're going to have a chat about Wooda and how Stuart came to buy Wooda and what he's done with it and what he's going to do with it. So, hi Stuart.
Hi Derek.
So, kick it all off. What brought about buying this place in the first place?
Be every angler's dream, isn't it? Own a fishery.
It certainly is, yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
So that was something we'd thought about, or I'd thought about for years and years, and just got in a position to do that really, albeit with a big loan. So yeah, we were looking for fisheries. We were looking for holiday accommodation, whether it be lodges or tents or caravans. Weren't exactly sure what that would be, where it would be.
Yeah.
And we spoke to a number of specialist agents, looked across the UK. So,
And this happened to pop up and was
this
there
this,
at the
this
time?
was one of them. Yeah, this was one of them. We originally saw this years ago when we first started looking back in about 2010.
Yeah.
But we then weren't in a position to take it forward to about 2015. And this was still on the market or come back on the market then. And yeah, we looked at this and a couple of other sites and eventually narrowed it down to this one really for a number of reasons.
So this fulfilled all your fishing dreams and obviously supplied an income as well, so you could actually change your life and to do it.
Yes.
I suppose now the only problem is you probably don't get as much time to fish.
Not at all.
That's always the problem, isn't it? When fishing becomes a business, you find you end up with less time to actually fish.
Yeah.
I believe that the place used to be owned by a couple. An elderly couple, and they owned it for many years.
That's right. Yeah.
And I know they did it well, and I know everybody loves this place because I'm a newbie here. It's only my second time here, and I've been speaking to people here who've been coming here since 2003, 2004, for years and coming down here. And several people, like Mark, have come probably 3 times a year down here. So it's very well thought of. My understanding was that unfortunately the guy had got an illness, and it meant that for some time she was trying to run the place on her own. So, did you turn up and find the grass 12 foot high or anything?
No, not at all. Despite age catching up with the couple, they were both in their late 60s and they'd been here from day one. It was effectively a farmer's field with 2 lakes that a farmer had dug when they took it over, probably late 90s, 2000. They developed the lodges that are on site that you see now and the other lakes. And despite the poor chap getting elderly and ill, he'd kept it going and it was still in a relatively tidy condition. When we took over the site, it did need some modernisation. We'd done quite a bit of work. It didn't have the internet, for instance. It was something that their generation, hadn't considered bringing in, things like that. So yeah, it was ready for just modernising slightly. But it was a viable business. It was had happy customers coming back year on year. Yes, some mattresses were a bit tired and bits and pieces, but that's minor issues that you can easily update. Yeah.
So you took it over, and as you say, fortunately, it was a place that you'd only got to do a bit of updating on, rather than go through. So what over the last 18 months, what have you actually done up to date? rather than what you're going to look at forward. But
Yeah.
what have you done over the last 18 months now to bring it up to what it is? Because it's fabulously comfortable.
Yes, yeah. Well, looking at the holiday side, the lodge side first, there's a number of things. There's a new website, much more engagement in social media, which wasn't there before. Looking at the specifics of the lodges, things like, the mattresses, the bedding, all of that's been updated. Some of the, the crockery, machinery, washing machines, fridges, all of those bits and pieces. We haven't gone round all the lodges and done that to all of them, but a lot of things there have been upgraded. Some of the lodges have got 40-inch TVs now rather than the TVs they did have.
I can get a 40-inch TV.
But you're not in a VIP lodge.
On the video, I remember on the video.
So there's been various upgrades of equipment in a number of the lodges.
Sure.
But probably the single thing we did from day one with the lodges is a very easy, simple thing. And it was just put a welcome pack out.
Yeah.
Because guests were coming in and they'd driven from Birmingham, Manchester, London, wherever they come from, and they get stuck on the M5, they're gasping for a cuppa. They get here and they need to go to Sainsbury's or Tesco's, wherever.
Sure.
So pint of milk in the fridge, tea, coffee, biscuits out for them. So just little simple touches like that we did from day one. And then we then started tackling those other, mattresses, bedding, TV refreshes really.
Yeah.
Which carries on, it carries on right to now.
Well, that's one thing that never stops, isn't it? That's
Absolutely.
That's continuous and goes on forever because there's always something wearing out that needs replacing.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
There's only 12 lodges here, but even with 12 lodges, I would imagine that's still a common occurrence that, we need to replace that this week, we need to replace that.
Yes, yeah. Well, actually, when we bought the site, there was 9 holiday lets on site, and some of the other lodges were owned by third parties as second homes,
Including
this very one we're in. And we purchased 3 of those back. So there's now 11 holiday lets on site. We're in a lodge, and there's 1 second home on site, so which is for a third party, and he comes down half a dozen times a year and happy with his holiday home. So yeah, so again, that's increased supply.
Yeah.
Which at the start you're not sure whether that's the right thing, but actually there's so many return customers, it was exactly the right thing to do.
Okay.
So,
and as you're a fisherman, of course,
the lakes.
What's been happening with the lakes?
What's been happening? Well, we didn't do anything initially on the lakes because we took over in June. It's busy, lots of customers, lots of day permit anglers. So we waited for it to get fairly quiet. Then last autumn we netted all the lakes. We brought a couple of guys in with the equipment. We had a couple of local guys give us a hand, and a team of 5 of us netted all 5 lakes on one day, which was a very long day, a lot of work. But it gave us an audit of exactly everything that was in the lakes.
Yeah.
You weren't basing it on historical captured data or what was in a set of accounts or anything. That you can see with your own eyes exactly what fish are in each lake, what species you've got, which is important, particularly when you're then applying to the Environment Agency for a new permit for stocking and restocking fish.
Sure.
So we netted all the lakes at the end of October, start of November last year. Got a good understanding what was in each of the lakes, and then started moving fish from lake to lake as well. So if you look at the Specimen Lake, there was far too many fish in there, and we could see that beforehand. Carp anglers here sitting behind 2 rods and buzzers and constantly getting runs from sort of 4 or 5 pound carp. So we took out 100 carp out of that lake and moved them into the 4th lake, which we've developed into a sort of a match carp water. And that was full of small carp, around about 1 or 2 pounds. It's now got carp in there up to 7. So again, it's sort of livened that pool up. It's given us a variety to the match anglers as such that use that water. The Specimen Lake, the carp, fewer, slightly harder water, but still easy. And the carp are growing at a better rate as well. So we did that. We moved a lot of roach as well out of the Specimen Lake and the match carp lake and moved them into the 3rd lake to try and enhance that one as a mixed water. So that happened all last autumn. And then early New Year this year, we brought 200 iodine to go into the match carp water as a winter fish. So
now people are not going to know what an eye is, and I'm not 100% certain, but it's very much like a chub, isn't it?
It's similar to a chub. It's actually the original species where the orth, the golden orth, comes from.
Okay.
So originally they're from Sweden, but obviously these ones have been bred in the UK. They're on our permit, so we can stock them. So they do feed in the depths of winter, so in a relatively shallow water. If it gets cold, if the carp switch off, in a couple of years' time we're going to have some nice sort of 1.5 pound fish in there, which will be good fun on light tackle, sort of float and maggot tackle.
And which lake are those in?
And they're in the fourth lake, in the match carp and eyed lake. But at the same time, you mentioned chub. We've actually stocked chub in the top 3 lakes, again as a winter species, and again some variety. We put chub in there. Like I say, we've enhanced the number of roach in the 3rd lake as well. And also the little lake, number 2, which everyone used to walk past, the old Stock Pond Beginners Lake, completely unused. We've taken the carp out there. There's a few rogues left that we need to take out. There's some tension there, but we put 300 crucians in there. And that's a little project just to grow those crucians on and make that a proper crucian lake.
That's good, because there's not a lot of, there's so few places now where you can go and realistically catch a crucian. You say, I want to go and catch a little bar of gold.
Yes.
And there aren't many places where you can actually do that anymore. There's still lakes that have got crucian in, but they tend to get dominated by the other carp.
Well, exactly, and that's why when we netted that, we just straight away took the carp out of it. Like I say, there's a few rogues, few escapees that always avoid a netting process unless you completely drain the lake. And as they get caught, we're moving them into an adjacent lake. But no, our plan with that water is going to be stocked with a lot more lilies and things like that, and that will be a crucian and tench water.
And of course, this top lake here, the first lake, I mean, that's a fabulous lake. I know it's residents only.
Yeah.
What a great little lake that is for kids, for families who come down, so the kids can go down and have a couple of hours fishing. And
well, exactly. Straight in front
there's all sorts in there, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. Straight in front of the lakeside lodges, so you can keep an eye on kids, or keep an eye on your husband or wife, whoever's fishing, whoever's on the deck having a glass of wine. And it is easy fishing, really. It's full of small carp. Although a 15-pounder did come out there back at Easter.
So I heard, yes.
But there's a lot of sort of £1 to £3 carp.
I bet that gave somebody a shock when it came onto the
exactly, yeah. And there's now 80 small chub in there. There's a few skimmers. There's perch, some tench. So again, another nice mixed water like the 3rd one, but that one we don't sell day tickets on. It is only for residents on.
So the only thing you're missing, really, is some gudgeon somewhere.
Gudgeon, actually, I was
take me back to my youth.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
I've been talking to a supplier about gudgeon, and there's a possibility we might get a few gudgeon in future.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So going forward, then, what do you think's left to do to get it towards where you? What's your dream? What's your plan for the place?
Okay, well, just sticking with the lakes for a moment before we look at the lodges. Been speaking to a supplier the last 2 days actually about a batch of skimmer bream up to £1 and a lot of tench. Bring those in this autumn, particularly to the 3rd lake, again to really enhance that as a mixed water.
Yeah.
So there's that plan. We may in due course crop some of the carp, move them from one lake to another, again just to make sure the balances are right. Particularly on the specimen lake, we want that really to be sort of double figure fish, £10 fish through to low 20s. Sure. So again, there's going to be a constant process of weeding out the offspring, move them into other pools. Other than that, the stocking levels will then just be maintained in the lakes. I don't think it's going to be a huge amount of work there. Obviously, there's other works to be doing, repairing platforms. They're all safe and secure at the moment, but you just got to keep an eye on them. We are fitting an eco-loo later this year down by the bottom lake.
That'd be a very good thing to do.
Yep.
That'd be a very good thing to do.
We've had a grant for 50% of the costs of that. We've had some issues with the design and suppliers, and we've got an agreed supplier, so that will be coming in this autumn. So we've got plans for an eco-loo, because it is a little bit of a walk away, even though you can drive down there. So that'll be down there on the fishery. So they're the plans on the fishery side.
There's quite a few people do get down on that bottom lake, so it's almost difficult now to try and find somewhere you can just have a wee in the edges. But
yeah.
I mean, certainly you wouldn't want to be doing anything else. So a loo down there does save the walk back up. That would be a very good
exactly. So we've got some works there, and there'll be some infrastructure works on the lakes as well. People would have noticed we've dug out some of the drenches, the overflow, channels and drains and things like that. And we'll carry on with some of those sort of works. And then beyond the lakes, in the woodland, we're going to put a woodland walk in there. We started cutting that through with chainsaws.
Yeah.
That's just as something completely different. families with kiddies might want to walk through there, because sometimes there are deer walking around the lake, and foxing and other animals, you know, come in, various bird life as well. So
The owl's still down there.
the owl will be down there. Flew over my head only last week.
Did it? I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it. Was it yesterday or a couple of days ago? I heard it. And I was pleased to hear that owl down in this bottom part of the woods.
Yes, yeah, the
It
owl.
was still there from last year.
Yeah, and sometimes you see the kingfisher as well, flitting between the bottom 3 lakes. So so there's a lot of bird life down there.
Yeah.
So, but like I say, you know, there's other animals through the woods as well. So we're going to put a nice, safe sort of walkway through there as well.
That'd be excellent. That'd be really
So that's the plan down. You know, to utilise effectively a dead space at the moment with the woods. And then with the lodges, you know, it's just a continual process of modernisation, upgrade. You know, over the last 18 months, you see we've brought in things like internet. We've put hot tubs in 3 of the lodges. We're going to be doing some more work with that. There's not going to be any more hot tubs. You know, 3's enough.
Yeah, sure.
But you know, we're doing some other works. You know, just to keep the lodges refreshed. You know, top spec as far as we're concerned. You know, so everyone's happy.
Build some more.
We may build some more. It depends on demand, you know, because these lodges are quite substantial, so they're quite costly.
Yeah.
So, you know, we long term we'd have plans maybe to introduce some 1-bed lodges for smaller parties, and equally some 3-bed lodges with a an ensuite loo as well as a separate bathroom.
Okay.
So again, we've got options there.
And you've got the space for that, of course.
We have got another 12 plots on site, so all with the power and utilities all through, so that's ready to go. And the other plan we've got in motion at the moment is to develop the old workshop as a reception stroke mini shop. So hopefully for customers coming next year, there'll be a focal point where they can arrive, where they can book in.
Is that what they're building at the moment?
Yeah, the little white building as you come in, the old workshop where we used to repair the mowers and bits and pieces like that.
Okay, that's not the new one that's being built.
No, the new one, the new wooden agricultural building, that's the new workshop.
Oh, okay.
So that's larger than the old workshop.
Yeah.
It simply didn't have enough space to repair all the mowers and other power tools and bits and pieces. So we needed a bigger workshop, and what that's done is free up the old workshop, which its position right by the entrance is prime really as a sort of focal point for people coming in. So you come onto site, you can stop there, you can pick your keys up for your lodge. And we'll hopefully have some provisions in there as well.
Just it'd be handy for the locals as well, wouldn't it? Just somewhere to get some bread, a loaf of bread, some milk, or a few necessities, rather than going down to Holsworthy for it.
Quite possibly, that's that has
a nuclear on people coming down, and the shop will become a thing on its own.
Yes, yeah. It is only going to be small. It's just about enough room to swing a dog around it, really. But so it's going to be quite small. So we're not going to be stocking a lot. It's not going to be a mini mart or anything like that. But again, you can have your milk, your tea, your coffee in the lodge.
Sure.
But it might be that you want to do beans on toast or a bacon sandwich or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to get you through the evening, and then tomorrow morning you're off to the supermarket. So.
Well, I ended up driving all over the place yesterday because I forgot to get some milk, and I knew I was running out. And I forgot to get some. I ended up at a garage, so managed to get myself a pint of milk from there. So having something on site just for something as silly as that is
exactly.
really, very useful.
Yeah.
And for bits of tackle, because invariably, if you come down, I could come down here, and if I fancied a day doing something other than carp fishing, I've got a rod, I've got a reel, but I haven't got all the other bits, and I could probably just pick them up, put it in the shop, just enough that I needed to have a day's float fishing.
Yeah, exactly. And again, that's something we'll bring in, a few consumables. You won't come to us to buy a £2,000 pole or a £500 reel or something like that.
Somebody's going to run out of hooks, aren't they?
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
So a packet of hooks, few floats, swim feeders, carp leads, whatever it would be. It's something we can put in.
Back leads. That's what I always lose here.
Yeah, back leads.
I don't know why. The fish shake my back leads off here.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's quite handy when you're getting a lot of line bites out there to backlead it to stop some of those.
Oh, exactly. So so little bits and pieces, consumables like that. Maybe a little bit of bait. Depends. We'll look at that when it opens. See what the demand is really.
So in the space of this, you basically told us what you're going to do, which in the space of the video actually sounds like nothing at all. It's saying, oh, that's easy enough. Now you've got all those years left to do it. Stuart, thanks ever so much.
Thank you, Derek.
Yes. Well, here we are. We're back home again now. It's about 2 weeks since we were at Wooda Lakes. A great holiday. This is it's my main holiday of the year, really. It's the one where I just get away from it all. The only problem is, and I don't want people to think this is some sort of video that is a promotional video for Wooda Lakes, because it isn't really. It's about my holiday and about what I think of Wooda Lakes and about how I enjoy myself. I suppose it's showing up one or two things: the good, the bad and the ugly. The good, it shows that Wooda Lakes is a great place if you want to just get away from it all and do a little bit of fishing. The bad, well, that was I suppose that really is my fishing and also my videoing of fishing, which I've got a lot to learn still. I'm sure I'll get better at it. I've got to get myself some of those glasses that you can video with. The ugly, well, that's got to be me. Mind you, there were a few blokes around, I suppose, that you could say with us in the same boat, but so yeah, we've had it all really. We had nice weather while we were down there. We had a couple of terrible days while we were down there. Had to cook all my own food, apart from one night out when I had fish and chips. So that'll impress the wife, the fact that I actually looked after myself. We had a good chat with Stuart, who's the owner of Wooda Lakes, and I thought that was really interesting. I've left that in its entirety because I thought you'd enjoy that. And all in all, look into the next visit down there. Although in a few months' time, the wife and I may have relocated to Devon, which will be rather nice, because it's a couple of weeks since Wooda Lakes. It's been a bit busy. It's a little bit hectic just at the moment because I'm now very close as I film this. I'm a day before my 65th birthday, so very close to retirement now and working through the last few months. Hopefully when we get to retire, we'll be able to relocate down there, and I can get some videos of the North Devon and, well, the Devon fishing scene, carp fishing scene really. I know there's some waters down there that have got some big fish in them, so we'll have to see if we can find those. A bit about me. You've noticed I've called myself the daytime carper. That's because I don't fish at night anymore. My back wouldn't like it, and frankly I'm just getting a bit I find it a bit difficult really. I've never been one for night fishing. I used to do it back when I was younger, but I didn't really particularly enjoy night fishing, and I never found that it caught me personally that many more carp. Maybe because I was fast asleep and missed most of the runs, I don't know, but it was certainly most of my carp were always caught in the daytime. So I certainly don't class myself as being a good carp angler. I'm just an ordinary bloke who goes out, fishes daytime sessions and enjoys my carp angling, and I hope that'll come across in the videos. So I'll sign off for now. Had a great week, as I say, down in Wooda. Came back lovely and chilled out. Didn't do as much fishing as I liked. Probably isn't enough fishing on this video to suit a lot of people, but it was what it was on the week. I didn't catch a lot of fish, but I did catch fish every time I went out, and that was good. Didn't catch any of the bigger fish in there, but hey, if you don't put the hours in, I suppose you don't catch the big fish, do you? Just after we came back, an 18 pounder came out, and just before we got down there, the 21 pounder had come out. So there are some bigger fish in there, but not massive fish. But Stuart mentioned all about that. He mentioned about the how he feels that the place is going to come and what he sees as his vision for the future for it. So I'll see you all again hopefully. So bye for now.